Good afternoon. The parents of a 12-year-old girl who died 18 months ago say her legacy will live on because her organs were used to save the lives of 3 people after her death. They're now urging more people to join the organ donor register after a report this week revealed that ethnic minority communities wait longer for life-saving transplants. Rajiv Popat reports.
So that track was
Oh, that's a nice one. She loved the monkeys, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kalpana and Paresh Palmer remembering fun times with their daughter Ashni. The 12-year-old from Leicester had been poorly with epilepsy and colitis. In January 2012, she suffered a blood clot and died in hospital. Her parents, who were registered as organ donors, told doctors they wanted Ashni's organs to help others.
Ashni donated her both kidneys, 1 pancreas and 1 lung and 1 cornea. So she helped 3 women and 1 gentleman. They're all aged between mid-20s and late 50.
How did you feel the fact that she went on to save the lives of those
Very
people?
very happy indeed, yeah.
The gift of life is nothing bigger than that at all. So, you know, we're really proud of her, and it's been an honour to be her parents for the last 12 years.
Health bosses say there's a chronic shortage of donors from ethnic minority communities and demand for organs outstrips supply. A patient and organ match is more likely when the ethnicity of the donor and recipient are the same.
We know that there's about 6% of the donors that we had last year that were from a Black, Asian and ethnic minority group, and they make up about 25% of those people waiting for organs. I think there's a real lack of awareness in those communities. Generally, organ donation isn't something that people talk about an awful lot, so I think that it's really important that people speak to their families about their wishes.
They need to get out there, get their names on the organ donor list. I mean, if they were ill, anybody would be quick enough to take an organ.
A lady who received one of Ashni's kidneys wrote to her parents saying the transplant has made a huge difference to her life. In this thank you card, she's grateful for the unique gift you have given me. She says it means she now has the opportunity to start a family of her own. Well, she now has a healthy baby boy and has sent photographs of him to Paresh and Kalpana.
Without this kidney, she couldn't have progressed in life and, you know, gained her own family, which she's done. I mean, you know, in our eyes, that's actually reborn again. We feel like her legacy lives on. You know, she's out there somewhere.
A third man's been charged with murdering a father of 4 in Birmingham. 28-year-old Ikram Khan died after disorder broke out in Grantham Road and Farm Road in Sparkbrook on Wednesday the 2nd of July. He died after being stabbed in the neck. 25-year-old Umar Zazai is due to appear in court in Birmingham tomorrow. Hundreds of Morgan cars descended on Malvern today to celebrate 100 years of production at the company's factory. Along with cars from across the world, the event attracted thousands of fans eager to get up close to some of the classic models. Stacey Foster reports.
A symbol of Midlands manufacturing. The Morgan Motor Company celebrated its 105th anniversary this year, and today is celebrating its 100th at its factory in Malvern. Hundreds of Morgans returned home to where they were built, and owners and fans alike got the chance to see Morgans from across the decades.
It really is, yeah, and I guess when you work here you get close to it, but just to see the turnout today and what it means to the Morgan community is fantastic, and having 105 years of continuing motoring heritage is fascinating. And I've spoken to people today from New Zealand, Holland, France, Germany, so people have come from far and wide to join us in this celebration.
There was also a backstage tour to see the inner workings of the Morgan factory, with cars being built as visitors made their way around. From its 3-wheeled beginnings,
I will stand up to it. They're pretty steep, some of those hills.
To 4 wheels,
She'll revel in it if I know her.
to the big range of models on display today. Morgans hold a special place in a car enthusiast's heart.
It's an Aero Super Sport, 4.8 litre V8, and it lives in the garage with my other cars. Always covered, always pampered, and this is the dirtiest it's got since I've had it.
It was the first car I ever had. Could drive it when I was 16 on a motorbike licence, and just got the bug and had Morgans ever since. I've got 3 others at home and just love them.
100 years at its Malvern factory and lots to celebrate. With their cars still in demand, the company hopes to be here celebrating its next major milestone in another 100 years' time. Stacey Foster, ITV News.
This year sees the 100th anniversary of the start of the First World War. To mark the event, we're planning a special programme to commemorate the contribution of the men and women from the Midlands who served their country. We'd like your help to remember them.
Within weeks of the outbreak of the First World War, hundreds of thousands of men had volunteered to join the British Army, many driven by patriotism, others by the opportunity of work. By the time it had ended, 750,000 people from Britain and her empire had lost their lives. There were few families who weren't directly affected. The casualties, the carnage, the horrors of the trenches and warfare on an industrial scale all helped convince a generation that this would be the war to end wars. It wasn't. Britain would never be the same again. Across the Midlands, there will be events marking the centenary of the outbreak of the war. At ITV News Central, we'd like to honour the sacrifice of that generation. We'd like you to send us a photograph of a family member or loved one, someone who served with the forces or supported the war effort at home. You can email us at centralnews@itv.com or send a copy of the photograph, not an original, to ITV News Central, 22 Gas Street, Birmingham B1 2JT. And do tell us a little bit about them, where they were from and what happened to them.
And now it's time for a look at the weather forecast. Here's James Wright with the details.
What's in store for today? ITV Local Weather, sponsored by CenterParcs.
Good evening. The general trend for the weather over the next few days is to become a little bit warmer, but expect a thundery breakdown by Friday. Tonight it's going to be a mild night, plenty of clear spells and clear skies around and about, any showers from today dying off. And then tomorrow morning it should be a fine start to the day. Lovely sunshine, particularly further east. A little bit of fair weather clouds starting to build from the west, and that will really thicken as we head into the afternoon as a front starts to make its way towards us. By the end of the day, some outbreaks of rain further west as it sneaks in from Wales. Highs of 21 or 22 Celsius. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, where it's looking as though there'll be a couple of showers around, generally sunny spells, and then those temperatures really start to rise as we head through the week.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by CenterParcs.
The Pollen Count, sponsored by Checkatrade.com.
Checkatrade.com. Pollen-wise, well, we'll see moderate counts through tomorrow. Tuesday's looking as though they will reach high once again. And then in the showers on Wednesday, we'll see them get back to moderate. Have yourself a good evening. Bye-bye.
And that's it from us. We'll be back from 6 o'clock tomorrow during Good Morning Britain. And don't forget, you can log on to itv.com/central to catch up with all the latest news, travel and weather for the region. There you'll also find links to our Facebook and Twitter sites where you can have your say about the stories that we're covering. For now, though, from all of us here, have a great evening and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.